Oh, g'day guys, Mr. Bennett here. We're going to have a go at a second example using method 2. Alright, so let's just get into it. So here's my function f of x equals the square root of 3x squared plus 1. So my f dashed of x, now I'm going to put it straight into the formula now. Okay, so that's equal to the limit as h goes to 0. Right, and then that's going to become equal to 3x plus h squared plus 1, and then that will be take 3x squared plus 1, and then that's all over h. Okay, now remember what the conjugate is. The conjugate is exactly the same as what's on the top line, but you just change the sign. So that will become the square root of 3x plus h squared plus 1 plus 3x squared plus 1. Now, keeping in mind, we can't just times by that, we have to times by 1, so we have to put that on the bottom line. And the trick again is never ever expand and simplify the bottom line. Alright, so that will sort itself out at the end, as we saw last time, and it turns out to be exactly the same every time. Alright, so have faith. Alright, so that's our conjugate. So our next line, what we can say here is the limit of h going to 0. Okay, my pen's playing up. The top line's going to become simply the bracket, so 3x plus h squared plus 1 take, remember to put a bracket around this, 3x squared plus 1. And then that's all over, and we have to write it, but we don't simplify it, okay? So that's going to be h bracket 3 x plus h squared plus 1, and then that's plus 3x squared plus 1. Right, so that's our top line. So now we're in a situation where we've got rid of our thirds on the top line. What we need to do is we have to expand the bracket and then collect like terms. So the limit as h goes to 0. Now, that's going to be x squared plus 2x. Now we've got to times that by 3 at the same time. So that's going to become 3x squared. Now it's 2xh, so it's going to become plus 6xh plus 3h squared plus 1. Take 3x squared, take 1. And like I've been saying all the time through here, you know you have made a mistake if the top line doesn't cancel out and leave only terms with the h's in them. Alright, so you know if you've made a mistake or not, if that's the case. Alright, so this is mindless, just writing this out, but you've got to write it out. And as I said before, you know, your friends are going to go, God, that looks so hard. God, you must be so smart. And you probably are. Alright, so over here we can get rid of that with that. We can get rid of the 1 with the negative 1, and we can get rid of, we've got h in both terms now, so rather than writing it again, I'm just going to cancel like that. Okay, you can do that. It's sometimes worth writing it out again. So that's equal to the, well, I don't need to really write the limit anymore, because what happens? I'll write it out. Okay, we could actually take the limit here because we've got rid of the h on the bottom line. So that's going to be 6x plus 3h on the top line. The bottom line, we're going to have 3 x plus h squared plus 1. And then that's going to be plus 3x squared plus 1. Alright, so when we take the limit as h goes to 0, so therefore we're now looking at our f dashed of x, which is our derivative, which is the slope of the tangent at the point where x equals x. So when we put the h equals 0, this term here is going to go out, and that term there is going to go out, and that's going to leave us with 6x. It's going to be 3x plus 3x squared plus 1 plus 3x squared plus 1. So it's going to be two lots of 3x squared plus 1. That's it. Done. Finished. So, you know, it's a process. So once you learn the process and you know what you're doing, you should be able to get it done. So the steps again that we have to go through. Alright, so the first step is you need to do the conjugate. Alright. Second step is to expand and collect like terms. And then the third step is to do what? Well, cancel h and take the limit. Alright, so that's what we're doing, really a three-step process each case when we're doing these things. Alright, so really the only way you're going to get good at doing this stuff is to practice it. Alright, so you know what you're looking for, keep in mind, you know where you're going to make mistakes. These are technically worth about 4 or 5 marks in the exam, so you know, and there is one of these in most exams, so make sure you practice it. All right, get it right. All right, while you can. Good luck with them. Keep working on them and catch up with me if you need some help.